for the purposes of this episode, I have decided to define languishing whip as something that has been on my needles for more than a month that I have not worked on. Some of these have been on my needles for a very long time. Hi, I'm Laura and welcome to my Frog or Finish episode of the Sunday Morning Knits podcast. So I'm going to go through all of my languishing whips and I'm going to decide whether or not I want to frog them or finish them. For the purposes of this episode, I am defining languishing as having been on my needles for more than a month without me working on them. And yeah, we're gonna work through these. Some of these are languishing, but are just languishing because I had to put them on hold to work on a different project, like a test knit. So I'm definitely gonna come back to them, but some of these have been on my needles for a very, very long time. So I'm excited to go through these and I'm excited to show you. Some of these are really cute. Some of them I definitely want to finish, but I might need your opinion on some of them too. So, I think that's everything I wanted to say. Let's jump right in. Okay, so the first one that's on the top of the pile here, that is not in a project bag, so I'm going to start with it. These are my Poet Socks by Sari Nordlund. These are really beautiful. They've been on my needles. I haven't worked on them in about a month because I signed up for a test knit and have now signed up for another test knit, which I'll talk about in my next episode, and then started running my own test knit. So that's the only reason these haven't gotten any work on them. I'm not going to frog these. I already know that. I really love them. I think they're really cute. So yeah, this is one of those languishing projects that's just kind of accidentally languished because I had like test knits and patterns I needed to put into testing. So, Sari Nordlund, Poet Socks. This is on Sunday Fiber Co. from a very long time ago. This was Deep Stash. Also, I have yarn barf. That's annoying. But yeah, I don't remember the colorway. I'm so sorry. But yeah, Poet Socks. I'm definitely gonna finish these. Okay. I don't even remember what's in here. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, so this is a languishing design. Here, I'll give you a sneak peek. Things are tangled. Okay. So these are what I was calling my Whale Road socks. So as you can see, they kind of have like a pearl ridge bump that gets farther and farther apart as you like go down the sock. This is the cuff, obviously. I call these my Whale Road socks because they are made with Malbrio Wales Road. And the term Whale Road is a kenning from Old Norse. That means the sea, basically. Like it's a term that's used in poetry, often to replace the word for sea. It's like a poetic way to say the ocean. So my design inspiration for these socks was the pearl bump ridges were supposed to be waves getting closer and closer into shore, because you know how like when you're farther out at sea the waves are kind of like farther apart, but as you get closer and closer to the ocean, or sorry, as you get closer and closer to the shore, the waves get closer and closer together. So that is the design inspiration behind these ones. Let me know in the comments if you think I should finish these. I don't know how I feel about them yet. So let me know in the comments if you like these, if you'd like to see these as a design. And then from there, I'll decide if I want to frog or finish. Yeah. The yarn was a Christmas gift from my best friend. So I definitely want to use the yarn for something if I don't end up using it in these socks. So we'll see. Okay. Unclear about that one. Please let me know in the comments. Oh, okay, in this project bag, you're about to see a pattern for me in terms of languishing whips and languishing sweater whips. Okay, here I have the yoke of a Ranunculus. I am done the entire yoke. I'm literally at the point where I have to split for sleeves. And the reason that I put this down was because it looked really complicated. The like sleeve split looked really complicated. And I was like, I don't know how to do that. And I don't know if I want to sit down and think about it and figure out how to do that. So I'll put it on hold. I don't even remember what needle size I was using, but I'll show you. I really like it. This is in Coast to Coast, and it's from the book club collection. It's called Loyal Companion, and it's done in natural silk, so 100% superwash, sorry, 100% non-superwash merino, 2-ply fingering weight. Now, the only thing I don't like about this is that, I don't know, I think the stitch is like a little bit like quinoa. Just the color, like the way that it looks. I don't know. Maybe that's just me being weird. I have this very long end. What the heck? Yeah. I really want a ranunculus, and I really like this yarn, and I think it's a really good color on me. And it's nice and light, which is cool. I live in Los Angeles, and it's like 40 billion degrees here. We're actually under a heat wave warning right now. It's like 32 degrees. But this could be nice for the winter. And I really do want a ranunculus. Hopefully I wrote down somewhere what needle size I was using, because I know I pulled the needles off to use them on a different project. So it's just on like the cable right now. Oh, this is really hard. Because like if I didn't want this project, I would have frogged it already. I'm usually pretty good about that. But it's been languishing for so long. This has been on my needles for about 2 years. I started this in the first year of my PhD, and I'm going into my third. So maybe a year and a half. I did mess up the lace, which kind of bothers me. I'll show you. They're not, the little flower stitches are not supposed to be off-centered like that. It's supposed to look more like this one. I did this one correctly. I know you can't see it. Okay, well, I don't know if I can show you, just because apparently it's very hard. I don't know. I'm gonna come back to this at the end of the episode. I will come back to this at the end of the episode and decide if I want to frog or finish this. I really hope that my conclusion at the end of this episode is not, I want to finish all of these. But it very well might be. Okay, what's next? Okay. So this is a shawl that I started like a million years ago. It is it's a free pattern from Espace Tricot. It is the European road trip shawl. It's literally just plain stockinette, and it's like a trapezoid. And I am using La Bien-Aimée. This is burgundy gray. Sorry, not La Bien-Aimée. Bichet Bouche, Le Petit Lamb's Wool in the colorway burgundy gray. This is a really beautiful yarn. It's woolen spun, and I really love that. And I just love the color. I have a fair bit of this yarn because the project calls for 5 balls. And I ordered 5, and I ordered them from La Mercerie up on Bainbridge Island in Washington. And I don't remember who was picking my order, but whoever it was called me, and they were like, "Hi, we have 1 more skein. Also, they're 2 different dye lots. Is that okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's totally fine that they're different dye lots. I'm used to working with hand-dyed yarn, so I'll just alternate skeins. It's not a problem." And then they were like, "Wonderful, do you want the extra skein?" And I was like, "Yes, please." So I ended up getting 6 skeins instead of the called for 5, which is totally fine with me. But that's actually a sweater's quantity. And I have some other biche bouche that I could combine with this and actually make a sweater rather than an extremely warm shawl. Okay. I have no desire to finish this. I have 2 other shawls on the go that I'm going to show you. So, I am going to frog my European road trip shawl. First frogged project, I mean, there's almost no work done. First project that I'm going to frog is this one. The yarn will be repurposed into probably a sweater. And I think this will make a really beautiful sweater. Okay, cool. One project that I am definitely going to frog. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. Okay, okay, I love this sweater and I'm not going to frog this. I know that. I need to finish this. But I'm gonna show it to you anyway. Okay, this has been on my needles for like 3 or 4 years. So I like really desperately need to finish this. This is my Korshavn sweater by Strikke Kafe. Ta-da! It is just stunning. I worked on this a little bit last year. I finished the back panel. And now I just have to do the front panel. And then like the collar and the sleeves. I don't know why I put this down. I think at the time, so when I started it, I was not familiar with reading charts. And then when I picked it up again last year, I was slightly better at reading charts, but still not super great at it. I am now super proficient at reading charts. So I think I'd be a lot more confident with this now. I think the problem at the time was I wasn't really confident with how to do it. And I did make some mistakes at the very bottom. Like at the very beginning of the pattern, I made some mistakes with like where my yarn overs went and stuff like that. So you can see little tiny mistakes where the like yarn over is in the wrong spot. The yarn over should be like 1 stitch over this way. But that doesn't bother me. That to me just makes it feel like handmade. Like the mistakes are what makes it handmade, right? And it's visual evidence of my learning process. So I'm not bothered by the mistakes. That's not why I put this down. I think I just wasn't very good at reading charts, wasn't really comfortable with it. My friend has actually finished her own Korshavn sweater, which I think she's gonna frog because she wants it to be longer and then reknit it. But her Korshavn sweater is so unbelievably beautiful. And I think that's gonna give me the motivation to finish this one. So I'm not gonna frog this. Oh, in case you're curious, I'm making this with Knitpicks wool, and this is the Simply Wool Aran weight in the colorway Wanda, held with a strand of Aloft lace weight in the colorway Oat. So it's kind of like a yellowy cream and a golden color mohair, and they give the sweater overall this like really beautiful kind of golden color, which I think is gonna go really nicely with my hair. Now, I started this sweater when I lived in Canada in a very cold climate. So it's a really thick, warm sweater, which I can't wear here in Los Angeles. This literally moved with me. This whip moved with me. But I think I would like to try and finish this before Christmas. That way I can bring it home with me and wear it when I'm at home. That would be really nice. I have a whole bunch of sweaters that I'm trying to finish before I go home for Christmas. And then Christmas is just gonna be like a fashion show of all of the like 100% bulky wool sweaters that I can't wear because I live in a desert. So Christmas is gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, okay, so I'm definitely not frogging this. I know that I'm not gonna frog this, but I thought I would show it anyway just because it has been languishing for a year. And I've been working on this sweater for about 4 years at this point? I think 3 years. I think I started it, actually I might have started it during lockdown. When was lockdown? The first time. It's been a long time. It's been a really, really, really long time. Okay, moving on. That's definitely my longest whip. Oh my god. Hands down the longest. Okay. So here is one of my 2 shawl patterns. I'm gonna show it to you. Oops. So this is just one side of the shawl pattern. So this shawl is going to extend this way and then be like longer. So it's an unequal triangle. One side is gonna have a sharper increase and the other side will have like a little bit of a smoother decrease. This is actually a design that I'm working on. I really want this pattern to be made with a sock set. I have so many sock sets. I love sock sets so much. And so I really wanted to design a shawl pattern that can be made with a sock set. So this is the sock set I am using. That's the main color. And then this is the mini skein. This is, I think, Sunday Fiberco again. I actually don't remember, and I'll have to hunt down the tag. It's not in here, which is very annoying of me. Yeah, I can't quite remember, but I really like this. I really like the design. I really like how it's turning out. I'm going to rewind this so it does not become a disaster in my project bag. I spent a lot of time working on like what gauge would be best, what kind of patterning would be best, how to get the most out of the yarn, how to make the shawl work with this sock set, how to like manage that, if that makes any sense at all. And I also want this pattern to be handspun friendly. So I am knitting a smaller size in a sock set, and then I'm going to knit a slightly bigger size in my handspun. I already have the handspun picked out. I'm not done spinning one of the colorways because I'm spinning it on my drop spindle, and that takes a lot longer than spinning it on a wheel. So I'm not gonna frog this because I really like it. I really want to finish it. This just got put on hold because I was working on my linen test knit. And then my own designs in August. So this has been languishing for about 2 months now, but I still really love it. I love the texture. I love how it looks in the sunlight. You can kind of see, I really love that. So I'm definitely not done this. I'm going to continue working on it. Yeah, I really like sock set projects that aren't socks, and they're kind of hard to find. So I thought I would design some. This is going to be called the, actually, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna share the name. It's gonna be called the Demeter shawl. I really like the idea of this portion of the shawl looking like a trellis that like flowers climb up, and then the other half of the shawl is either gonna have like lace flowers mixed with other kind of trellis motifs or just lace flowers. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm gonna do some swatching, but we'll see. This is gonna be called my Demeter shawl. Yeah. So this one will be finished. Sometimes designs just take a while because they take more brain power than like knitting somebody else's pattern. And I am a PhD student, and so I don't necessarily often have a lot of spare brain power to use. So sometimes I like just knitting other people's patterns because of that. Okay, let's see what's in this bag. Ah, my other shawl pattern. Okay. This is my other work in progress shawl. Now, I'm actually drawing a blank on the pattern, but this was an MCAL for the River City Yarn Crawl last year. I didn't do it as an MCAL, but I saw Marcella from Little Wing Fibers knit this, and I fell in love and was like, oh my gosh, I need to make that immediately. So I cast on. I worked on it for a while. I was really enjoying it, and then I discovered that I made a mistake like here. And then I knit all of this, and the mistake is not big, and I could ladder back and fix it, but I just don't want to. But I still really like the pattern, and I really love the yarn that I have picked out. So these were two skeins from Stash. that I just happened to put next to each other and was like, oh my god, these are stunning, and they would look so beautiful in this shawl. So this is the colorway Feyre by Gatti Yarn Co. And this is the colorway Fiore by Explore Knits and Fibers from like 5 years ago. I actually think this is my very first skein of hand-dyed yarn. I bought 2 skeins of Explore Knits and Fibers at my local yarn store one Christmas. And I think they were my very first skeins of hand-dyed yarn. I actually still have the other skein of Explore Knits and Fibers that I bought, that I will at some point get turned into mittens. But I haven't got that far yet. So yeah, I really love how these look together. I just think they're so beautiful. So, I don't know, maybe I should just frog this. But I want the shawl. I like want the finished product. I really like shawls because since I live in LA and it's so hot, sometimes when you walk into a building, the AC is blasting and you're like, I'm freezing. Even though it's like 30 something degrees outside. And that's when a shawl can come in really handy. And they take up very little space, and I really love knitting on fingering weight yarn. I don't know. I'm gonna put this aside for the end of the video, and we'll come back to this again. Because I don't know. Okay, this is a whip from last Christmas. I have to take, there's berry yarn in here. Let me just take it out to get to the actual project, sorry. Okay, so, I kind of was on a little bit of a crochet kick last year. And I mean, I still am. I really do like crocheting, but knitting is my true love. So crocheting has kind of taken a little bit of a backseat since my crochet kick last Christmas. But I have this lovely languishing whip that I think I should finish. So I got the Coffee House collection of mini skeins by, it's not the Coast to Coast one. It's the, oh no, what's it called? What's the company called? Is the tag in here? No. I will put it on screen. So I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, it is the coffee and tea inspired collection. And I am making an Astrid pillow. This is the Astrid Pillow by Not a Crawl Crochet. I'm using the exact colors that she used in her pattern. So I have Swish Berry yarn as the main color, and then the coffee and tea collection as the like granny square. My mom said they look like flowers, which I think is really cute. This one definitely really looks like a flower. Yeah. I think I should finish this. I would really like the finished product. I think it'll be really cute in the apartment. I've never made a pillow or anything like that, so I think this would be really cute. And I think this one will still take me some time, but this would be a really good project for when my hands hurt from knitting, which doesn't happen very often. It happened yesterday, which was kind of weird, but for the most part, my hands don't hurt from knitting, but occasionally they do. So maybe this will be my I have to stop knitting and do something else project. So it might take me a while, but I think I do still want to finish this. The inside of the project bag is a little bit of a mess because it's just a whole bunch of mini skein balls, but that is okay. I'm going to finish this. I really love Not a Crawl Crochet's pillow in this colorway, so like really love it. So I think I have to finish it. Okay, I have a few more to go. See, I said I had a lot of languishing whips and I truly meant it. This is another pattern design. I have shared this on my Instagram before, but I don't think I've talked about it on, I was looking for this earlier today. I don't think I've talked about this on YouTube. So a couple years ago, I designed a pair of socks and gave them as a gift to my MA supervisor as a thank you, when I graduated, because she went above and beyond to help me through my undergrad and my master's. And I thought it could be fun to release the socks as a pattern. So they're just a basic cable sock. They have a little cable going down one side of them. They're just a worsted weight sock. They're not super hard. The cable is really basic. I think it'd be a really good pattern for people who are just learning how to do cables and want just a cozy pair of thick socks. These will get done eventually. I have the pattern completely written out. I just haven't finished making my samples yet. I have the yarn. I'm gonna do this pair in like petrol blue color and then a cream color. This is Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino, in case you're curious, in petrol blue and sky. Sky is my favorite cream by Knitting for Olive, by the way, because it's beautiful. It has a beautiful like pink undertone. I love it. So yeah, this one will definitely get finished. I don't know when, but I have the pattern written out. I just need to finish the sample and then have it tested. But you know, PhD student life, and also I have so many projects on the go. As you've seen, these are just my languishing whips, let alone my active current whips. So I have a lot of stuff on the go. I feel really conflicted about this project. Okay, I started this at the very beginning of my PhD, so 3 years ago. It is all tangled because I have not worked on it in 3 years, and this is the second time I've actually debated frogging it. This is going to be a Cumulus blouse. Emphasis on going to be. I just, as you can see, have the like back panel and then like the shoulder done. I haven't joined for the front yet. And this is in the most beautiful colorway I've ever seen. It is Coast to Coast Yarn Co. Cove from about 3 years ago. And I just absolutely adore this colorway. I think it's so beautiful, and I think it'd be so beautiful as a Cumulus. I think when I cast this on, this would have been my very first fingering weight garment. And I don't think I was really into fingering weight garments at the time. I was still very much an accessory knitter. So I loved fingering weight, but I was very much an accessory knitter at that point still. I'd obviously knit garments before, but nothing on fingering weight. And I don't think I was prepared for how much work goes into a fingering weight garment. And then my PhD, like right around the time that I cast this on, everything fell apart. It was just a really rough time. School was really rough. Outside of school was really rough. So I just put this down because it was a lot of work and I wasn't mentally prepared and school was crazy. But I don't know if I want to finish this or not. Oh, it's such a beautiful color. Like, look at this. It's just stunning. I kind of forget about this. I'm holding it and I'm like, I really want the finished product. I have been wanting to make a Cumulus for a long time. I still think about making a Cumulus every once in a while and I'm like, wait, I think I have one on the needles. But this has been at the bottom of my whip basket for a very long time. But I think I want to finish it. It's really soft. And it's so pretty. And it'd be so pretty in my wardrobe. I have 4 skeins. So I could theoretically do something else with it. Like I could hold this with a fingering weight and make like a no frills or a lento, double it and hold it, double it and make a lento. No, I want to make a Cumulus out of it. I want to make this Cumulus. I'm gonna finish this. This one's gonna get finished. Okay. I have one more languishing whip. Now this one is in a similar position as my Demeter shawl of I just all of a sudden had other things to work on that like had a deadline, and this one did not. And that's my Sasky sweater. It's so cute. I love it so much. I should, wait, do I have my hanger here? No, I totally don't. So this is my Sasky sweater. This is a sweater by the Petite Knitter. I've talked about it on a couple podcast episodes, so if you're curious, you can go back and see those. Basically, I can't wear this in LA because it's 100% Peruvian Highland wool, and we are in a heat wave. So I just want to finish this before Christmas, and then I was knitting on this kind of at the beginning of the year, and then I tested the Lento, and then had my own designs in testing in August, so this just got put on hold. I haven't worked on it, obviously, in 2 months, but it just got put on hold because I had other, like, deadline things. I'm going to try to finish this before Christmas so that I can wear it at home. Yeah, so that's my Sasky sweater. This is definitely going to be finished because it's so cute. Okay, I'm back to the two whips that I have put aside for the end of the video. One is my Ranunculus, and the other is this shawl. As you can see from my sweaters, I don't know if you've noticed, I tend to get stuck on Body Island. So I finish the yoke and then it just languishes for a little while. All of my sweaters are currently at this stage where I've done the yoke and I just need to finish the body, and they are all at this stage. Everyone talks about Sleeve Island. I think I get stuck on Body Island. Let me know in the comments if you also get stuck on Body Island or if this is just a me thing. Okay. I'm holding these up, and out of the two of these, the one that I want to finish the most is my Ranunculus. I really want to finish this. I think this would be so cute. I don't have a lot of garments. I don't have a lot of tops that I can wear with skirts and stuff. And this is such a unique color. I don't have anything this color in my wardrobe. I really like this color because I think it goes nicely with my hair. Okay, I think I'm going to finish my Ranunculus. I had originally planned on making this a 3/4 length sweater, but I think I might actually just make this a t-shirt. That way, I just have to knit the body at this point. It's just stockinette in the round. And that makes it slightly more Los Angeles friendly. Slightly more, I live in an extremely hot place friendly. I think I'm gonna finish this. Let me know in the comments if you think I should do otherwise, but I think I'm gonna finish this. And I think I'm gonna frog this. It looks like a beard. I don't know why I did that. It's really cute, but I think I can use this yarn combination for something else, and it'll be also adorable. I might still make the shawl pattern. Again, I don't remember what it is, so I'll put it in the show notes. But maybe just not right now. I think I have enough projects that I need to finish, and I think I could use this yarn combo for something else. So I think this is going to be a frog. Yeah. That makes me sad, but I think that's the best decision for this yarn. Okay, so that means I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 languishing whips that I'm going to finish, 2 that I'm going to frog. No, I have 8 languishing whips that I'm going to finish, and 2 that I'm going to frog. So I had 10 languishing whips in total. I didn't count for this episode. Okay, I think that's better. Obviously I wouldn't have cast these projects on if I didn't want them and if I didn't think it'd be fun to make them. So I think 2 out of 10 being frogged makes sense for me. I think that's a reasonable amount that I'm going to frog out of my languishing whips. The other ones, I think 2 of them are designs, so there's no deadline, no pressure. I can finish those whenever 3 of them are designs. So I'm not too worried about that. The other ones I think are really beautiful, and I think I have to finish them. So 8 are going to be finished, 2 are going to be frogged. I'm happy with that. Okay. Thank you so much for watching if you've made it this far. I deeply appreciate it. If you like this kind of thing, please hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. It really helps me out. This was a lot of fun. I've never done a frogger finish before, and I love watching other people's, so I really enjoyed this. I hope you did too. I hope you were knitting something fun while you were watching this. Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and happy knitting. Bye!